Am I the asshole for letting my daughter be kicked out of a wedding since she wasn't modest enough? My daughter is 18. Emma. Before she turned 18, we had a rule that I could ask them to change if the outfit wasn't appropriate. Rarely happened because I truly didn't care as long as the main parts were covered. Now when they turned 18, they are an adult and most of the house rules didn't really apply. We were invited to a wedding to a close friend. My daughter is friend with her daughter and I am friends with the mother. They are religious. I know this and she knows this. It was a church and the invite said modest. No cleavage. Knee length and so on. I didn't expect anything else. Well, a few weeks ago Emma showed what dress she was going to wear and I mentioned that it won't work. The dress was cute but strapless. I thought she would change it but didn't. So on the day of the wedding she wore that. I even commented that it won't work again. She said it will be fine. Well, we get there and her friend's brother stopped her at the door. She tried to argue but got kicked out. I still went to the wedding. I got home today and she called me an ass for not defending her and staying at the wedding with their old school dress code. Not the asshole. She has the freedom to dress as she wishes. She has the freedom of being the sole responsible for the consequences. Not the asshole. You told her. She didn't want to listen. She learned how the world works. Not the asshole. You didn't control your daughter. You just warned her about the dress code. She chose to ignore it. And as a result she wasn't let in. That's not your fault. Not the asshole. Sounds like she was trying to make a point about the dress code. Disrupting someone else's wedding is not the right way to do that. She should have RSVP'd in the negative and said why. That would have let her stand up for herself without disrupting someone else's wedding. Not the asshole. When you are a guest at someone's wedding, you abide by their wishes. Especially when they are explicitly stated. If you can't, don't go. You even warned her twice. And she chose to ignore you. Then had the nerve to get mad that you didn't cause a scene. What the fuck did she expect would happen? Your daughter has the maturity of a 13-year-old. I saw a woman's shoulders at a wedding once and now I'm pregnant with twins. Emma needs to think about the consequences of her choices. I assume Emma can read. I assume she can understand what she reads. The invite had a specific dress code. I assume Emma read the dress code. Or was informed of it. She somehow thought she was exempt from the dress code. She found out she wasn't. She FAFO. Not the asshole. Some churches even insist on a head covering being worn. We were in Arles, France, and for those women without a head covering, or who were showing their shoulders, there was a box of shawls by the door. There was a separate box for you to place your used shawl in by the exit. And this was just for the tourists who wanted to look inside. No woman could enter unless their shoulders and head were covered. Not the asshole. Your daughter was told and decided to break the dress code. Your daughter is also an adult. She FAFO. Not the asshole. She called me an ass for not defending her and staying at the wedding with their old school dress code. You told her more than once that her dress wouldn't be acceptable. She knew what the dress code was, chose to ignore it. That's on her. She chose to be hard-headed, got exactly what she deserved. Not the asshole. The dress code was clearly stated on the invitation. She's an adult and needs to learn to follow a dress code. Not the asshole. She knew the rules, but still decided to flaunt it, even after you repeatedly warned her about it. Not the asshole. If you had forced her to change, she would have also gotten angry. You told her about the issue. She ignored it and she found out. Heck, starting a fuss at a friend's wedding because of this would have been a bigger asshole move. Not the asshole. It's a religious thing. Annoying. Outdated. Sure, but this isn't an educational institution, it's a private religious affair. Not the asshole. I'm an atheist, but I still respect other people's religious customs, etc. If you're supposed to dress modest in church, you dress modest in church. It's called being respectful. She made her adult choice and she could go and stay her adult self at home. Not the asshole. A dress code is a dress code. Either abide or don't go. It's pretty simple. I think you handled the situation perfectly. Not the asshole. You told her it wouldn't work. She learned a lesson to follow dress codes if she wants to attend. You were fine still attending. You don't need to support her in her poor decision making. When I was 16, back in the 80s, I shaved my hair into a mohawk. My mom was pretty conservative. Catholic church secretary, etc. And I couldn't wait until she got home to see my new do. She walked in the door, gave a little gasp, stared for a moment, then went about her evening. Later she said she was going to the store and I asked if I could go with her. Without missing a beat she said no. It's your choice to do that. It's my choice not to be seen with you. I was mad, but inside I knew that I just witnessed some master parenting. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. She apparently subscribes to the saying the rule are for thee but not for me. She thought she'd get away with this and miscalculated. You warned her but she knew better. And reaped the consequences. She's just pissed that you were right. You didn't have to support what you didn't agree with. Not the asshole, but TBH, like just because it's strapless she can't wear it. Seems kinda odd. Sound like a real hoot of a wedding. Were they Mennonite? Or that is, I need context. Not the asshole. She's an adult that was taught an adult lesson. If the wedding said formal attire and she showed up in leggings and a t-shirt, she wouldn't be let in either. Not the asshole. You were guests at someone else's event. A religious wedding at that. She can dress however she wants, but she needs to learn to show respect to others. You were specifically told it will be modest dress code. She didn't have to come if she wasn't happy abiding by the dress code. Not the asshole. Your daughter learned an embarrassing lesson on FAFO. I was all set to call you an R from the title of your post. But not the asshole. She showed a lack of respect to others as a guest at their function. Consequences. Not the asshole. She was warned. And ignored it. The wedding had a dress code. It wasn't her wedding. And she decided to ignore the dress code. I can dislike the dress code all I want, I actually do, and think it's dumb. But it's not my place to decide it's okay to break it because it's not my wedding. Wanna go to other people's events? Respect their rules. Even if they're dumb. If they bother you so much, then just don't go. We're all adults. We can miss events because we disagree with things. Wait. What was wrong with her dress? Info. Were there specific rules about being strapless? Or did the dress break any of the stated rules? Cleavage. Knee length. If the invite only specifically noted knee length and no cleavage and the dress was strapless but adhered to those rules, I would say that she shouldn't have been kicked out because the rules were followed. If it did mention strapless as a no-no and she wore it anyway, then it's kinda her fault for not following the dress code. Can we get the exact wording on the invite? Was there room for interpretation?